So Kanye West is determined to end the Kardashians once and for all because he has not stopped spilling some interesting tea about them. And this time he has a couple of things to say about their shady business practices. And y'all are not gonna believe the secrets he's exposing. Does Kris Jenner really run a tax evasion scheme? And why did the FBI question Kim for money laundering? The Kardashians being exposed for their shady business practices is nothing new because they have been dragged so many times over the years for being unethical and only being focused on money. For example, there's the time they were dragged for promoting the excessive use of waist trainers without mentioning the health effects that it would cause. Or Kylie's swimwear line, Kylie Swim, being dragged for selling low-quality swimwear for ridiculously high prices. Oh, and let's not get talking about how often they have been accused of ripping off black culture for profit without doing anything to give back to the black community. And the time that Forbes exposed Kris Jenner and Kylie for faking financial records for Kylie Cosmetics so that Kylie could be declared the youngest self-made billionaire ever. Now, while these are bad, they are nothing compared to the new accusations of money laundering that they are facing. Now, money laundering is a serious accusation, but it all kind of makes sense when we think about it. And reports suggest that this is why Kanye never got his money and assets together with Kim when they were married. Now, keep this part in mind because we're going to get back to it in a little bit. Now, of all the Kardashian sisters, Kim has to be the one who has been the most notorious for her shady dealings, and this goes way back to the years before she became famous. Now, we all know that she worked as a closet assistant for several celebrities, including Paris Hilton and Brandy. But what a lot of people don't know is that she actually stole from Brandy's mother. As Brandy's closet assistant, Kim had a one-time access to her credit card, which was managed by Brandy's mom. Well, Kim, Khloe, and Rob then took advantage of this to steal $120,000 from Brandy's mother after Kim had stopped working for Brandy, which means that she had kept the credit card details for years. And the moment she thought that enough time had passed for her to not be a suspect, she and her siblings struck and went for the money. Now, the stealing was bad enough, but what made this even worse was the fact that they didn't steal the money directly and spend it, but they instead spent it at their Kardashian stores, Dash and Smooch. This way, the money appeared to be a legit income from the clothing stores rather than stolen funds from Brandy's mom. But they got exposed because the transactions were unauthorized. And at first, Brandy's mom gave Kim the chance to pay back the money without getting the law involved because of Kim's friendship with Brandy and her relationship with Ray J. But when they refused to pay for more than a year, she eventually sued them. However, Brandy and Ray J convinced their mom to drop the lawsuit and settle things out of court. And according to Ray J, this was the real reason he broke up with Kim. But interestingly, Kim and Ray J's tape leaked not long after their mom confronted her about stealing the money, which kind of makes us wonder if Ray J was right about her having something to do with the alleged leaking of the tape. Kim's illegal purchases all happened between 2005 to 2006, which tells us that Kim's shady dealings with money go back more than 15 years. But this was not the last time Kim was involved in that type of mess. Not many people know this, but Kim used to have a sugar daddy before she became famous and started making her own money. He was an Asian man named Joe Lo, and Kim has been accused of helping him launder illicit money. According to reports, Kim often flew with him to go gambling, and in 2009, she claimed to have flown back to LA with a trash bag containing $250,000 cash that he won from gambling in a casino in Las Vegas. Well, it turns out that might have been a money laundering scheme because Joe Lo has since been exposed for being involved in a money laundering scheme. The Insider wrote, Lo is wanted by international authorities in connection with a multi-billion-dollar money laundering scam. He is accused of being the mastermind behind a scheme to siphon $4.5 billion from the Malaysian state-run economic development fund, One Malaysia Development Berhad. In 2019, Kim was quizzed by the FBI about her involvement with Lo, but they couldn't pin anything on her, so she wasn't charged for anything. But that was not the only time that Kim was investigated by federal authorities, because in 2022, she was investigated by the SEC after she advertised the cryptocurrency Ethereum Max without adding a disclaimer to show that it was a sponsored ad and she had gotten paid to do so. By advertising without stating that it was an ad, she had taken part in a pump and dump scheme that was aimed at increasing increasing the price of cryptocurrency before it was sold to investors, and she was fined $1.26 million. But Kim is not the only member of the Kardashian clan with shady business dealings, because her momager Kris Jenner also does the same. A lot of people may be familiar with or have heard about the California Community Church, but not a lot of people know that it was actually co-funded by Kris Jenner in 2009. She registered the church as a non-profit organization, and members are required to pay a monthly fee of $1,000, and they are also encouraged to donate 10% income tithe to the church each year. Of course, the Kardashians donate 10% of their annual income to the church, and what this means is that they get a 10% tax reduction every year. While 10% might not seem like a lot for most of us, we need to remember that Kim makes about $80 million a year, so that comes out to about $8 million in tax reductions. While this might seem shady enough, that's not all. As we said, Kris owns the church, so whenever the Kar Jenner sisters donate their 10% to the church, they're essentially giving it to their mother, which means that she's probably going to find a way to give it back to them, meaning they don't give anything in reality and still manage to get a tax reduction. And if that isn't shady, then we don't know what is. Oh, and that's still not all the juicy details about the Kardashian shady businesses, because a few months ago, it was reported that Kylie was building yet another mansion in Calabasas, LA, and it was estimated to cost about $15 million. Kylie is not the only Kardashian to have multiple houses, because all 5 sisters as well as their mom have multiple houses. In fact, Kris has so many properties that she sometimes forgets about them.
Can't wait to be wealthy enough to forget I have property somewhere. Just like, oh, I have a condo in Beverly Hills. I forgot about that. I forgot about it.
Imagine forgetting about an expensive condo in Beverly Hills. The sheer number of properties owned by the Kardashians led to speculations that the reason they build so many houses is that it's a secret money laundering scheme. This is yet another shady dealing about the Kardashians, and it looks like Kanye just might have been aware of this. Now, when Kim filed for divorce, we all knew how badly Kanye wanted to get back together with Kim. But Kim wanted nothing to do with him, and she filed a motion to be declared legally single, which was granted very quickly. This was surprising because matters like this tend to take time, but we soon found out that the reason for the quick resolution was that their finances were separate. Money is the major reason celebrity divorces take a long time to iron out, but Kim was able to be declared single after only a few weeks after her filing. It was surprising that they had zero money tied together, especially since they were involved in several business dealings together. This just shows that they went to great extents to keep their finances and assets separate from each other. And a source told People magazine they keep their accounts basically separate. West will talk about my money and her money. This suggests that Kanye knew about the shady business all along, and he made the smart decision to keep his money separate so he didn't crash and burn with Kim and her family when they eventually got exposed. This shady business has left a lot of people shocked, and the comments have been left saying things like, Kanye is right about everything. That's why they wanted to have him admitted on being crazy. He's not crazy. They wanted to shut him up. They created a church for tax evasion? A new evil kind of low. The greed is endless with this clan. Why do you think she studied to be a lawyer all of a sudden? And isn't this the same woman who said she's successful due to her hard work and regular women just don't work hard enough? Our world is rigged. Unfortunately, it looks like the Kardashians are unlikely to stop their shady businesses anytime soon because it brings them millions of dollars every year. But it's going to be interesting to see how this works out for them in the long run now that people are on to them. In the meantime, you guys need to check out this next messy video.